Today on Monkey Life. Could l'amour blossom in France for golden cheeks Mikado and Tia Nang as they arrive to start a new life together?
This is just beautiful. They're really calm, they're really relaxed. I couldn't have asked for a better start.
There are moves afoot at the Capuchins as Tau and Winslow swap groups.
It's going to take him a little bit of time to get used to the slower pace of life, but hopefully it'll be good for him in the long run.
And Pumpkin the spider monkey finds helping herself to a fruity treat is just plum easy. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
We've really done everything we can to make her journey as smooth as possible.
The park provides a home for more than 250 monkeys and apes from 20 different species. Following a long journey from Dorset to northwest France, Kat from Monkey World has arrived at Saint-Croix Animal Park. Her two charges, golden-cheeked Gibbons Mikado and Tia Nang, are about to start a new life together here.
Bonjour, welcome here in France. Nice that you have come.
Animal director Jan Vermeer is on hand to greet her, keen to get a first look at the couple he hopes will become the French park's first ever breeding pair of golden cheeks. Set in nearly 300 acres, the centre has more than 1,500 animals from 100 different species. Mikado and Tia Nang will have a lot of new and interesting sounds and smells to get used to. This will be the first time the French park has ever cared for lesser apes, so a brand new purpose-built house, complete with an island surrounded by a moat, has been built for the pair to enjoy.
2 cages, so we can put one in one tonight, and the other one goes in that one. Food is already for them. Of course, they will not always get that much fruit, I know. No. But for today, I think they are tired. They need some energy.
Yep.
And
it's lovely. It's nice.
Yeah, you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Both Gibbons seem calm despite such a long journey.
So I'm just speaking with Jan and making a plan for obviously unloading the guys and making sure that everything's safe and that the Gibbons obviously are unloaded in a nice, safe manner.
It's a big day for the Saint-Croix care staff, and they're excited to see the new arrivals. Mikado will be first into his bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy.
Hey.
He wastes no time. He's straight up and quick to check out his new surroundings. The young male gibbon has had a long journey and tucks into the fresh fruit on offer. It's a good sign.
You happy? We go get your lady friend for you, huh?
Yeah, then we get the female.
With Mikado settling in well, the team turn their attentions to Tia Nang. Despite the pair both living at Monkey World since they were babies, they were in separate families, so never met. It remains to be seen how well they'll get on. For the rest of today and tonight, they'll be able to see each other, but will be in separate bedrooms.
Tomorrow we'll meet them in here. They'll meet in these 2 rooms with the bedrooms, so the slides opened up in the tunnels there, and they will go and say hello to each other and hopefully be best of friends. And Mikado seems to like his new stuff.
Mikado is settling in exceptionally well, but he's used to change. Tia Nang has never known anything other than life with her parents.
Oh, good girl.
Yeah.
She's happy to leave her travel box and shows very natural behaviour, staying up high where she can survey her surroundings. But so far, so good. The transfer has gone smoothly.
It's a huge day for them. I mean, Tia Nang, she's never been away from her family. You know, she's sat in that box all day. She's been as good as gold. She's been very quiet. She's came out the box. She's a little bit shy, but she's doing fine. She's really calm, really relaxed. Mikado was okay. He's eating now, and he's saying hello to all his new people and the new people that are around here. He's checking out the views, and he looks quite calm and happy.
Tonight, as Mikado and Tia Nang settle down, they'll have the opportunity to check each other out from the comfort of their individual bedrooms, ready for their big introduction later tomorrow. Back in Dorset, the park has 77 capuchin monkeys, split into 5 separate groups. Most came from a Chilean laboratory in 2008, but several have been rescued from the UK pet trade. Each of the 5 groups is led by a dominant male, and they all have their own unique style of leadership.
They all look the part, they all look very impressive. We noticed with all of them, as soon as they sort of took charge of their group, they bulked up, they just looked bigger, the faces and the cheeks filled out and the arms filled out. And they're all learning on the job, and although they are all very different in many ways, there's a lot of similarities between them and what they do.
Erico was the most disturbed of the Chilean monkeys when he arrived, but he now runs the Capuchin Lodge. Despite his previous life at the laboratory, he's a very intelligent monkey, one of the brightest at the park, and he's always up to mischief. The smallest group is led by Winslow. He's a happy chap, and the 4 flirty females he looks after totally adore him and pander to his every need. Then, at the bottom of the park is the Capuchin Complex, split into 3 further groups. One is run by Franco, half-brother to Winslow, who he ousted to become leader. His job is probably the most challenging of all the 5 alpha males. The majority of his group are young adults. They're mostly boys, jockeying for a place in the hierarchy. On the other side of the fence is Sonny, who's always surrounded by females. What he lacks in intelligence, he makes up for in looks. He's a very impressive capuchin. And finally, there's Tau. He's a laid-back character who runs his group of 16 ladies with the help of sidekick Bruce. He has spinal deformities due to his past life, and in recent months, staff have noticed he's been struggling to move around the large enclosure and keep up with his girls. A medical checkup didn't reveal anything untoward, but despite medication, his mobility hasn't improved. So a decision's been made to move Tau to a smaller enclosure where he won't have to run around as much.
I might try and separate Winslow into bedroom 1, try and get the girls out.
Yeah.
And it's not just Tau on the move.
The main switch is we're moving Tau to a group that's smaller, and then he'll be replaced by Winslow, who'll be coming down to take over his group, who will also be joined from 2 males from Franco's group, just to thin it out a little bit in there and to help him head up that group a little bit.
It's a straight swap between Tau and Winslow, with a couple of additions. Elderly capuchin male Archie will be joining Tau from Erico's group, and together they'll live with the 4 ladies already established in the smaller troop.
Come on then, Tau. Good boy. You coming? Good boy. We've got Tau. He came in very well. He was very keen, really. Yeah, we'll just get him out of there and moved up to his new house.
Good morning. Boy.
At the opposite end of the park, Winslow has also been isolated and is ready to be transported. So far, the big capuchin move is going smoothly, with all 5 now heading simultaneously to their new homes. The team will give them all a chance to settle before beginning introductions to their new housemates. The 4 chimpanzee groups at the park are well established, and although there are sometimes sudden departures, as well as unexpected arrivals, life is pretty good and settled for all of them. And nowhere more so than at Hananya's. There are 19 members of this group, 15 girls and 4 boys, all led by the dominant male. Hananya wasn't a natural leader, but has matured into the role as the years have gone by. And the other 3 males in this group, Simon, Shamak, and Arthur, have been with him every step of the way for more than 20 years.
They do have a kind of brotherhood together, and they've grown up together, and they've welcomed new members into the group together. They've seen members leave the group. So there is a big solidarity, I think, between the males in the group, particularly Hananya, Simon and Shamak Arthur is probably the lowest ranking male, and sometimes he does bear the brunt of Hananya's displays. So he's slightly out on a limb, but all of them do have a good relationship with each other, and you see positive behaviours between all kind of combinations of the males.
Shamak arrived at the park along with Hananya in 1996. Both were rescued from Israel, where they were smuggled for the illegal pet trade. He's one of the most intelligent individuals in the group, and as such can get easily bored if not challenged sufficiently.
If he's busy and he's having fun, he's great. But if there's not a lot going on, sometimes you can see he's looking for mischief then to amuse himself. So if we don't provide activities, he will find his own amusement, and that can often be by winding up some individuals in the group.
Simon is another intelligent chimp and quite political in going about his business. Since the death of Tico, Hananya's second-in-command, last year, there's been a void that needed filling.
I think certainly you would look at Simon as an individual that stepped into that gap. He's a very astute chimp. He's very sensitive and tuned in to the other animals, and he's hugely respectful of Hananya. I mean, that was one of the reasons why we all had him tipped to move into the second-in-command position.
The birth of Thelma 3 years ago had a positive impact on the whole group, and none more so than Arthur, the lowest ranking of the 4 boys.
Arthur's always been very taken with Thelma. In the early days when Thelma was very young, he had a bit of an overzealous approach, and Cherry was cautious. But now that Thelma's 3, he's allowed to play with her, to carry her, and that's given another dimension to life in Hananya's group for Arthur. I think the males in this group have a huge history together, and there's not one individual that you worry about. I think that relationship will continue, and there's no reason why these 4 males won't continue to happily coexist for the rest of their lives.
It's been a busy morning for the capuchins. 5 of the boys are on the move in what's essentially a house swap. Winslow, along with 2 males from Franco's group, is moving into Tau's house. And Tau is heading in the opposite direction, taking over where Winslow left off, in charge of 4 ladies. He'll have additional help from a new friend, Archie.
Tau seems very calm and laid back. He's just looking around, getting used to his environment. Archie's still a bit worked up, so we're just going to give him a few minutes to calm down. He's had quite a stressful morning, and then we'll introduce a pair of them together.
Both males have mobility issues, and it's hoped that the smaller enclosure, along with fewer capuchins, will help with the physicality of their daily lives.
Archie and Tau are quite unique capuchins really here. Archie is one of our oldest males. He doesn't have proper use of his left arm. He always carries that. He has got some use in his fingers, and we do a bit of physio with him, get him using his wrist. But he copes really well with that. Hopefully his condition will improve. He is one of our oldest males. He's estimated to be about 31 years old. He is quite an old man, whereas Tau is a lot younger, although physically he is older than he looks. We think Tau is only sort of 12, 13 years old, so he's not really an old man. But again, we're hoping by not having such a big area and so much pressure on him socially, that physically he will improve as well, and that the pair of them can sort of get on just fine in here.
To help the introductions run smoothly, the 4 females, Ginger, Sophia, Maddie and Maggie, have been kept outside while Archie and Tau get used to their new surroundings. It doesn't take long, and Toby's soon happy the pair are calm enough to meet. So the slide separating the 2 bedrooms is opened. It's a standoff, as both Tau and Archie posture in front of each other. Both seem a bit nervous, but it's Archie who makes the first move. So far, so good. Although there's been a lot of vocalisations, there's been no negative physical contact, which is a good sign. And it's not long before Tau decides it's time to explore, and he's quite happy for Archie to tag along.
Tau is just sort of trying to get used to his new surroundings. He's used to a very busy life as sort of the alpha male of a big group. So it's going to take him a little bit of time to get used to the slower pace of life, but hopefully it'll be good for him in the long run.
The next big step for the boys will be to meet their 4 girls, but that's for another day. For now, the two just need to establish their relationship, and for Archie to realise Tau is the one in charge. Over at the spider monkey enclosure, Donna from the primate care team is busy putting out basketballs suspended by rope. She's going to fill each one with fresh plums. A form of enrichment she hopes will make the 3 members of this group work for their food.
We've got our female Pumpkin and our 2 boys, Flint and Hickory. They get on pretty well for the most part. Pumpkin, the female, is the dominant one, so we'll probably find her come out first and monopolise a lot of the food, but hopefully after that the 2 boys will join her too.
Spider monkeys have a prehensile tail, basically a 5th limb they use in the wild to get about the treetops. It helps them reach fruit hanging underneath branches that can be difficult for other animals to get to. By hanging the food up in the enclosure, Donna is trying to encourage these natural behaviours. And it's Pumpkin who's straight in and first to the balls. She's an 18-year-old female who loves her food. Her trills indicate how happy she is. The oldest is Hickory, at 25 years of age. All 3 came to the park from a private collection in Somerset in 2012. Notoriously highly strung primates, they originate from the tropical forest of Central and South America. Their disproportionately large limbs give rise to their common name. Their diet is primarily fruit, but they'll also consume leaves, flowers, and insects. And they seem to be making short work of the plums on offer today. Reaching out with their long limbs makes grabbing the fruit so much easier. Although it does seem to be Pumpkin snaffling the most. Hickory's managed to snatch one of the juicy plums, and when Flint wanders over to have a look, he quickly departs to eat it in peace. With Pumpkin determined to exhaust the supply of plums by herself, Flint needs something to keep him occupied, and that happens to be one of the tiny cameras pointing his way. It's early morning at the Sainte-Croix Animal Park in France, and animal director Jan and Kat from Monkey World are preparing breakfast for 2 new arrivals. Following an 11-hour journey from Dorset, golden-cheeked Gibbons Mikado and Tia Nang have spent their first night in separate bedrooms in their new house. They're about to start a new life together in France, living alongside 1,500 other animals from 100 different species, so it's quite a big change. They never actually met at Monkey World, so today the pair are going to be introduced for the very first time. Jan and Kat prepare a welcome breakfast of fruit and veg before popping in to see how the pair coped on their first night. And by the sound of it, everything seems to be going well.
I like the noises of gibbons, and people can wake up in the morning and hear the gibbons singing. There's nothing better than hearing in the morning gibbons singing. It brings life to a park if you have gibbons in your park.
Kat is keen for the 2 to meet as soon as possible, and if the signs are good, today will be the day. Mikado and Tia Nang seem relaxed and happy after a good night's sleep and enjoy their breakfast. So the decision is made, and the slide between the bedrooms is opened. Mikado dashes straight in to meet Tia Nang. She's receptive, climbing up to smell and groom her prospective new mate. It's early days, but Kat is delighted.
That is amazing. I'm really, really happy. I feel quite emotional actually, because I always think the worst thing, and this is just beautiful. They're really calm, they're really relaxed. I couldn't have asked for a better start. 5 minutes in and she's hugging him. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
They behave perfectly the way we would like to have them to behave. So especially Tia Nang, the female, is looking for contact with the male, very friendly, sniffing him, touching him a little bit. It's going perfect.
The Gibbons' new home includes a house and an island surrounded by a moat. But before they get to explore the outside, Jan wants the pair to get to know each other inside.
It's important that they feel that this house is part of their territory, that this is a safe place where they can come back every evening. Normally they can stay outside if they want, but we prefer that they come inside so that you have a better control of the animals, and if there would be bad weather, that you can be sure that they will come inside.
The following morning, Kat checks in on the pair one final time to say her goodbyes. Golden-cheeked Gibbons often pair for life, and it's hoped Mikado and Tia Nang will become a devoted couple and one day have a family of their own. This will take time, so for now, it's just lovely for everyone to see them content in each other's company.
They're really happy, they're comfortable, they're moving around really well together. They've had breakfast, which they're sharing, they're allowing each other to have. Jan's been in and given them everything and taking really good care of them. So at this point, I'm really happy that the guys are in a wonderful place. They are going to be happy together. Now I just have to walk away, which is the hardest bit to do.
So it's au revoir to Mikado and Tia Nang as Kat leaves the pair to begin their exciting new life together.